Whew, that was fast. When is Google ever that fast? All right, we're back. Friday live stream. Yes, on Friday, which is great. A nice upgrade from last week when Comcast messed me up. Doesn't look like anybody's here at the moment or something. That's fine. If you are, jump in. And if you're the first one, you can tell me which GitHub profile page, your GitHub profile page, I guess, to hack on. So today we're going to do some Vanilla.js stuff. It's really cool. I really enjoy Vanilla.js stuff. It's a nice change from React sometimes. You know, you just kind of get to the metal, as it were, of the browser. Not that that's a metal thing. I mean, you know, you're on the browser, and then, you know, that's its own C++ app, which is running on, you know, the OS, which is all of that. So, you know, you're never near the metal on that. All right. So, well, if nobody has their own GitHub URL, plop it in there, and we'll make it your custom GitHub graph. What we're going to do is hack on this using Vanilla.js. So drop your link in there, and I'll take a look. And then at the end of this, hey, we got some viewers. That's awesome. We'll do an Ask Me Anything. I'll just fire up Google Meetup, and we can have a chat, and you can ask me anything you want. I'll probably plug this a couple of times today, but I did actually set up this mailing list this morning. So it's gonna be pretty fun. If you sign up, I'll give you a day early access to a day earlier than we normally would have access to the video for the week on Wednesday, and then also have you know, tips and tricks and all kinds of fun stuff in there for development. It's really, really fun. So, all right. Well, no one wants to pony up a GitHub page. I will do mine. So first thing we're going to do is to play around with this. We're going to go and save this out. So I'm going to go save this page. And the trick here is to make sure that you're doing web page complete, right? You got to get not just the HTML, but all the assets, everything that runs on it. Aw, thanks, Adarash. And I'm just going to change that, you know, just trim that down to Jahur over here. And we're going to save that in. Aw. Hey, Adarash, do you have what's your GitHub profile page? Let's go and hack on your GitHub. I've seen mine too much. Drop it in there, and we'll have a look. And love from America to India. You gotta have a GitHub profile page, dude. If you're gonna be coding, you know. All right, cool. Well, we'll do mine. Okay, that's fine. So let's see. So again, we're gonna save that page, but I didn't actually do it. So let's go over here, Jahur, and I'm gonna drop this. I'm gonna go over in the terminal. Hello, and oh, hey now, whoops, I'm on the wrong screen. There you go. Hey, there we go. Oh, hey, all right, excellent. All right, let me go and grab that instead. We're messed up anyway, so there we go. All right, nice, good shades on there. That's looking good. Hey, hold on for a second. Let me go and I'll compliment that. All right, here we go. Nice, right? All right. Okay. So, all right, nice GitHub profile there. Very cool. I like they got like a little like plus thing going on there. That's neat. So let's go hack on this. We're gonna save that page out, and let's see. So that was Jahur. I'm just gonna call this Adarsh. Okay, cool. And we will go get rid of those. And let's see, GitHub hacking. Let's jump in there. Nice. Just for you, my man. Okay, and then we're going to go over to desktop and get, let's see, we have your HTML file. So we'll bring that in. And we also have the associated files, which we'll bring in as well. And we'll bring up VS Code. It's probably going to be a little bit too small at the moment. So I'll bounce that up so you can see it. See that? Okay, that's about the right size. Okay. So here's your HTML file for your GitHub profile. And we'll go over here to our extensions. Now, I've already got this installed, but this is actually a really good one, Live Server. And it just, takes the site that you're working on and brings up a server. Pretty easy. There you go. So it looks exactly the same as a Darsh's profile page. So we're going to do, which is great because that means that Chrome has done all the work of changing all the script tags and everything so that they point to that Darsh files directory. So we're going to go and bring in our own JS. So add a script tag to the bottom. We're adding it to the bottom because we want to make sure that all of the DOM is loaded by the time that we get there. If we add it at the top, then the stuff that we want to hack on is not going to be loaded by that time. So we'll do a little console log in there. Hello, Darsh. Awesome. Save that. And we'll go back over here to our page and let's take a look. So everything's working. Yep. Now we've got code on the page. And yeah, somebody put in the comments, this isn't going to be hacking github.com. Of course, it's not going to be hacking github.com. They're never going to allow you to run arbitrary JS on a page. It's a crazy violation of their security. So, but this would allow you to go and one, play around with stuff, and two, hey, Sanjay, no worries, man. We're working on a Darsh's profile page. You haven't missed anything other than me saving a couple of files. Yeah, so what we're going to do, this is just going to be a thing, but the nice thing is you can go and kind of screenshot stuff and get a look and then put that on Twitter or Instagram or whatever when you come up with something cool. Okay, don't be overwhelmed. It's all good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start looking at the DOM because we want to know how to hack this thing. So best way to do that is to just start with some entry point. So I'm going to use this upper left-hand item, so a little nod right there. And then that's going to give us that is a rectangle that's contained within a group. That group is contained within another group. And you can kind of, as you scroll over these things, you can start to see how it's all laid out. So they've done their thing where they have columns. And so it's 53 columns in your grid. And then each one, that's all contained in a group, which is all contained in an SVG tag, which is all contained in this div, the JS calendar graph. So that's my entry point that I'm going to use. I'm going to use JS calendar graph as the entry point. And we'll get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. And we'll go over here and we'll say const root element equals document dot query selector. And let's just do this first. So let's go and get the JS calendar graph and we'll console log that just to make sure that we know what we got. And we'll go back over here to console and there you go. So I apologize for all this warning stuff. There's no really way to get around that. A whole course series on Webpack. Actually, come to think of it, yeah, I was talking to a friend last night, and there was a thought around once Module Federation goes official in Webpack 5 to do a full-on course, maybe one on React and then another on Angular. So if you're excited about that, then thumbs up, and I'm excited about it. I think it's good stuff. I mean, I wrote a book on it. So okay, so we've got the div, we've got the JS calendar graph div up here. And within that, the SVG and all that. So what I'm going to do, because we want to get all of those columns, I'm going to change this to query selector all, so we get an array. And then I'm going to say I want the SVG within it, and then the group within that, and then the groups within that. So it's, I'm going to just kind of going down that chain, right? And we'll call this columns. Let's take a look. So now, hey, cool. We got a node list of a bunch of these G tags. So it's 53, I'm guessing. 0 to 52, so 53 G tags. And I could, if I wanted to, I could say, well, give me the sixth tag, obviously starting from 0, 5. And it would give me, you know, that one, right? But one of the things I want to do is I want to create like a grid in here, right? I want to have X and Y grids. So I want to be able to run query selector twice. I want to be able to map each one of these columns and then use query selector all within that to get all of the rectangles in there. So can I use a map on this? So let's see, is map defined? And the answer is no, it's not defined. And the reason is that it's not an array, it's a node list. So I'm going to go do array.from. And that's going to give us an array, like a just old JavaScript classic array, right? And now map is a native array function. So what I can do with that is I can then say, okay, for each one of those, I want to take each column, and then I want to do query selector all on that and get the rectangle tags. Now, this is an interesting thing, right? So we're using query selector all in two different spots. This is at the root of the document body, right? And then this one is relative to each column. So that's a really cool thing about working in a DOM like that, is that you can go and kind of search within things. And that's what query selector and query selector all give you. And back in the day, when it came to jQuery, you'd have to do stuff like, you know, body, blah, 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 you know, or whatever. Actually, if you're familiar with jQuery, it would be like .js calendar graph, so you get that. And then, yeah. Oh, yeah, you could do that. Okay, Nick Lush, thank you. And then if you wanted to, in jQuery, you just give it like a root element, and it would search within that. But that was before we had query selector all, and now we do. So Nick Lush is telling us that we can go do this. So, and let's try that. I'm down for learning something new. Okay, let's see. So what are we going to get? I think we're going to get an array of node lists, if Nilesh is right. Let's see. Or we're going to blow up. Or we're not. Oh, or we're just going to say that we want the map function, which is not right. Ah, okay. Nilesh is indeed correct. We have now node lists of rectangles. And since we want to use those as array, we'll use Nilesh's hack again. And then do that. That is much cleaner. I like that. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so now we've got an array of 53 by 7 items in here. And as we kind of roll along, you can see them, you know, selecting, there you go. And we are going to go and change one of them to something. Let's see, we'll say columns 1, 5. So a little bit down a little bit. And then we're going to say within that, we're going to set the style color to red. All right. Oh, nah. Okay, style.fill to red. Hey, there we go. Okay. So now, yeah, now we're in the 1th column, and then the 5th item down, or the 6th item down in this case, everything starts from 0, 0, and now we're setting that. So now we know that we can start hacking this graph. And now in the original video, I did a, let's see, so how do I want to do this? Okay, let's start off with a simple one first. We'll do like a linear gradient of the whole thing. So I'm going to start off by selecting this first one, which is empty. We'll call that off. All right, come on, you. There you go. Off equals this value. And then where's a good day for you? Adarsh, good day was in May sometime. A really good day in May. Yes, please do make a Chrome extension of this. Absolutely. That'd be hilarious. It's like, what do I want my GitHub profile to look? Do I want it to look like I was super productive or I had really good days, you know, Monday to Friday? You could do all that stuff. That'd be awesome. Please, Animated Zombies, send me a link. Send all of us a link to that Chrome extension. That is a great idea. Okay, so I'm now at my on and off value. Let's try that out by just setting it on. And now we've faked that in September. Adarsh had a really good day on September 6th. Congratulations, Adarsh. Really nice. In fact, let's go say that Adarsh had a good day every day. So we're going to go through every column, and within that, every rectangle. And we're going to say that every day was a good day. By then, oops, one last thing. Set that rectangle there. There we go. Nice. Well played, sir. Nice. Okay, so now you've got, well, this is never a graph you'd actually have, just from a data analysis standpoint, because you can't have a max every day. Nice. Well played, sir. So let's do something fun. Let's first do like a linear gradient in here, just to show you, you can start playing with various combinations of effects. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to first create a package JSON by doing yarn init-y, and that'll give us a package JSON. And then I'm going to add a color package, and color allows us to go and parse out that hex code, and also interpolate RGB, which is going to allow us to take that on and off value and interpolate between those two. So let's go and import. Just start off by importing color from color. And then we'll say, I want to console log out whatever color is going to give us for on. Okay. Now that live server is still running, so let's take a look over here in the console and see what's up. And it says, cannot use an import statement outside of a module. True. So we need to Webpack this. We need to somehow interpret that import. So we could do Babel, we could do all kinds of things. But in the video I used Webpack. So to use Webpack out of the box, you want to make a source directory, and then move that index file into source. Which I suppose if I did that in VS Code, it wouldn't complain like that. And let's see, if I do npm's Webpack, what am I going to get? I'm probably going to get a dist directory. Well, it's going to complain. And now I have a dist directory, which is not going to show up in VS Code because that's ignored, but it's there. And if I look inside that, I get a main.js, which has an uglified production version of the code. If I do the same thing, npx Webpack with mode development, then it doesn't complain as much, which is nice. And if I look at that main, okay. Now it looks like kind of regular JavaScript with a bunch of boilerplate Webpack stuff in there. So that's good. So let's go and take that back over to our HTML file. And then we're going to point it at dist main.js. And let's take a look. Okay, so now it's working, and we have that color response. So it's getting the imports right, it's doing all that work. And so what I really want to do is, can we use Webpack? So we could use import and export instead of require module on express. Yes. Yeah, right. I mean, this is not. So the problem here is you're working in the browser. The require thing is normally when you hit like node and you're working in the node context. You could do ES6 modules in the browser and get this working, but then all of these other files like the color and the interpolate RGB that I did, you'd have to have ES6 versions of those modules. And I think there's some services out there that basically take almost every node module and turn it into an ES6 module. Somebody I'm sure put in the name of it out there. But there's also like Snowpack, and that would do that for you. So that's kind of cool. So import can actually be handled in the browser now as well. Okay. So interpolate RGB wants to have an array of those colors. So let's just make sure that we have access to that. So let's go back over here and I'll refresh. And I'm still getting the same response, and that's because I'm not actually updating that dist main all the time. So let's go and add one more item to our Webpack, which is to say that I want to watch the source directory. And so that's just going to sit in the background. And if I refresh the browser, there we go. There's our R, G, and B. It's pretty cool. I've got some ideas about how to do something beyond what I did in the video here. So let's get to the gradient fill first. So interpolate RGB from interpolate RGB. Browserify. Thank you. Absolutely. And let me go and get the documentation on this. Okay, cool. So I'm going to use one of these interpolator dubulakis like that. And that's a functor, a function that gives you more functions. And I'm going to take, let's see, does that match? No, it doesn't. Let's go do that. And we're going to go from on to on. No, we're going to go from off to on. And we'll say, what is 0.5 between those two? Okay, go back over here. And now it's telling us the 0.5 between those two is 134, 173, 148. But that's not something we can give to the browser. So we need to reconvert that back into hex again. So I'm going to go wrap that in color and then ask for its hex value. Let's see. How's that doing? If I refresh, cool. Now I've got the cool hex value for that. So let's just grab that out and put that in there for our fill style. See if that works. Nice. Okay, now we got like a halfway green thing for all of our Darsh's days. And if we want to go and have a linear gradient, we just have to give our x and y values. So x and y. And then we're going to say that we want x plus y over 60. Because it's 53 weeks plus 7 days. All right. And there you go. Linear gradient. Pretty nice, right? But I was thinking, that's kind of cool. But I was thinking, so let's comment that out for a second. So what if I sorted this so that like these high values all appear at the beginning and kind of like just kind of filled up that? So how would that work? So let's try that. Let's go and sort it. And I'm just winging it here. So we're going to have some fun with this. So we're going to go through and first get all the values, the current values, which is something I didn't do in the original video. And then we'll sort them and then we'll put them back in there in sorted order. So let's go see. Okay. So I want my colors. All right, so I guess days. So for each day, we're going to push into days the fill style. Okay. But I want to go and get its value. So I want to go and parse it because it's already in RGB and get its color array. And let's see. Okay, so at the end of this, I'm going to have this array of days. So let's go take a look at that. Make sure that that's cool. Now, unable to parse color from string. Interesting. Okay, so what is that? Console.log, fill. Oh, the string's empty. How's that? Style fill. That should be right. Huh. Any ideas? What about making a snake game? I like that. Yeah, you can go and add event handlers and all that. Sure, for sure. Let's just go and do this first. Off. Okay, so there we go. But I'm assuming it looks like everything. Oh wait. Okay. I'm a little concerned that that's everywhere. Okay. Well, let's try it. Let's see how we go here. So we get all this stuff, and we don't need X and Y at this point. So let's get rid of that. Pong. Ooh, yes. It's actually one of the first games I made as a kid. We're gonna say days equals days.sort, which is gonna complain because it's const. So let's let that. A and B. Okay, so total is total A equals all of A reduced. Boy, this is fun. A, B. Oh, sorry. I. Oof. All right. I plus J. Am I getting too advanced here? Okay. Maybe. So I'm basically going to add up A and B, which is what that reducer does. It basically starts off with an array. Each one of these is an array. And it then accumulates from 0 the total value. And I'm going to sort based on that. So it's return TA minus TB, I think. And if everything goes right, then that should actually be sorted. Oops. All right, let's try it out. Ooh, invalid or unexpected token. Which one didn't it like? Okay. So that should be right. Yeah. Well, 1, that's wrong. It should be B. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Is it still getting unexpected token? Oh no, it's sorting. And let's see, it should be like the last one along the line should be like either the highest or the lowest. Yeah, I'm still not okay. So something's wrong here. So rect.style, or maybe it's rect.style to string. Yeah, it's not getting any values. Why isn't it getting any values out of fill? Like I'm setting it. That's a drag. So another trick is, if you've ever seen this before, so notice that like as you're looking at this value here, right? It's $0. If I go down here and I clear this out, I can say $0 and it's that rectangle, right? That's pretty neat, right? So you can actually just start messing with it. So let's see, the style, fill. Yeah, it's saying it's nothing. That's weird. Huh. Computed style map? And then fill. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, it was a good idea. I'm sure I will figure this out later and figure out why I'm not actually getting like the actual. I want the hex, right? And I want to be able to compare the hex and all that. Okay. So, but I'm not going to waste your guys' time by trying to do all that. So the next one that I did was in the video was an image. But is that more fun? I don't think so. So if we go over here, this is my GitHub graph hacking. This has all of the examples that I tried out over a weekend when I was just hacking with this sort of stuff. So I'm going to go and let's see, GitHub graph hacking, GitHub fun maybe, or GitHub message. I think it was it. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to bring that up and I show you the audio example because this is a hoot. Okay, so we'll go and bring up the audio example. All right, and you wants to use my microphone. Cool. And so now we're getting an audio signal through that. Can you guys see that? It's like an actual, like, it is an audio signal processing FFT system baked right into your GitHub graph. So do we want to do that? Or do we want to do the image one, which is where you take an image and actually scroll the image up? Do you like? I'll give you a couple. Throw into the chat and let me know which one you want. I do like the idea of making a game. Pong sounds like fun. Snake, yeah, snake is cool, but it could be, I mean, I can imagine like you'd hit that bottom really fast. Okay, well, since I think it's really cool and I want to go and do something different for this video, I think I'm going to do this audio one. So we'll just kind of walk through it because it's a little hairy. The audio context API is a little interesting to work with. So let's go back over here. Audio one is lit. All right, I like it. It's lit. So I'm going to move this guy kind of out of the way, and we'll just start working on it because there's no way I'm going to do this from memory. That is not happening. So what do we need? We're not going to use color or RGB. We could, but we're not going to do that. We already have our columns. That's done better, thanks to Nilesh, which is really cool. So the first thing we need to do is to set our sample size. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with an FFT. An FFT is the fast Fourier transform. And what is it? This harkens back to the days when I used to be in a lab. We used to do all this all the time of actually taking signals, and then what you're doing is you're actually converting that data from the time domain to the frequency domain. Which is really cool. So you take basically a sample of sound, which in this case is 1,024 samples, and then you're using this fast Fourier transform to actually invert that into the frequency domain. So then every one of those samples becomes an imaginary number of the value of the level at that frequency. And then there's also, even weirder, an inverse fast Fourier transform, which takes it backwards and turns it back into a signal again. So you can actually like hack a signal. It's really neat. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is bring in our audio context. So this is the kind of new-ish hotness around audio accessing. So we will go and create an audio context function and then create an audio context using that. So this is all, browser, just making sure that our browsers are connected properly. Okay, so we also, this is ugly. So if you are browsing around the web and you happen to go on a site that has some audio on it, Chrome doesn't want to bring up that audio right away. You may not have wanted it. So they have this tweak in there to make sure that you need to interact with the site before it'll start playing sound, which is actually, when you think about it, a really good thing, because, people could go and put crap onto the page that you might, that might not be good. So let's ignore this big block here for the second, the got stream, and then we'll go and connect to the microphone, which is this down here. So we're going to ask for the user media, which in this case, the user media is the microphone. All I want is the audio. I could ask for the video, but I don't want that. And then once I've got it, I'm going to call got stream. And if there is an error, I'm going to just ignore it because this is just a fun little hacky thing. So let's go and build out got stream. Got milk. I got a stream. Okay. And let's see, I need to create an analyzer. And this is going to be this fast Fourier transform analyzer. So we'll use that audio context to create an analyzer. Now, like all audio systems, this is all about like chaining things together. So we'll also have this script processor, which is going to go and give you this the sample size of stuff. We'll go and create the media stream source. Apollo, GraphQL, React series in the near future. Would you like that? I'm guessing you'd like that because you just asked for it. What in particular would you like to see in a series like that? So back into this though. We'll create that stream media source. We'll connect it to our analyzer. And then we're going to do our FFT. So we're going to set the FFT size to that size of the sample. So in this case, 1K samples. Give it the FFT. It's going to go and give us the time domain data. Actually, is that the right thing? I'll be interested to see. Okay. And then we want to keep doing it every time. So we're going to get back this on audio process, which says, hey, I've got some more samples. Here you go. We'll go and get that data again, the time domain data, and then we're going to bucket it. So we've got 53 columns of graph, but we've got 1,024 samples. So we need to reduce that down. We need to what's called decimate that down into, well, is that decimation? Well, whatever. Yeah, we need to squish that down so that we get essentially the average of each one of those. So we're going to go through each one of our columns, and we'll use that as the key. So we'll go through each column. Do we call it the same thing? We did. Great. Okay. Sorry to be jumping around like that. All right. Oh, and actually I'll use Nilesh's thing here for all the columns. I'm not sure why I need that. Actually, let me just do that. Array from columns. I'm not sure why I'm doing that, but we'll fix that in a second. We're gonna go and grab 16 slices, 16 samples from that, because 1,024 over 53 is roughly 16. So we'll start off 16 in from wherever our current location is, and then we'll take those 16. We're just using a regular array slice, and then we'll use that reducer to go and sum up all of those values and then divide it by 16, which gives us our average. We'll do a little bit of scaling on this, and then we'll go and set those columns to the fill style with that value. So basically, let's see. So with each column, we'll go and we don't care about the current value. We don't care about the rectangle, do we? Whatever. Oh no, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we're gonna go and reset this guy all the way along. So, all right, so let's go see. Is this gonna work for Nilesh? Yes, it is. There we go. An audio processor for Adarsh's GitHub profile page. Super cool. And I think I can make this a little easier. I don't know why I'm doing array from in there. We already have good arrays, so there's no reason to do that. Is that still working? Yeah, that's still working. So yeah, this is really fun. And this is kind of all right. And the one thing I want to see, get byte time domain data. Let's go look that up, because I think there might be another option there. Analyzer node. Get byte frequency data. That's what I'm looking for. I think I'm wrong, actually. I think this is just like showing me the waveform, and what I really want is the frequency data. I want the frequency data. That's it. There it is. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Nice. Woo! Of course, I guess yeah, that's neat, Adarsh. That's really cool. This is neat. Okay, so I probably want to spread this out a little bit, since obviously like the high end of the graph is way beyond, is like into dog hearing land or bat hearing land. So let's go and reduce this down. So we'll do it by maybe 8. So we're only going to use a part of the frequencies, and let's see. Okay, that should work. Oh, maybe by 8. Okay. Hey, that's a little better. Yeah, so then now we're starting to like, because you want the, thanks. Yeah. Is that good? Is that like lit? Is lit or clean better? I'm not sure. That's kind of cool. Let's do it one more time, because it's clear that like the frequency spectrum on this is wicked high. Okay. So down to 4 now. All right, let's try one more time. Oh, that is so cool, man. Yeah. Woo! Uh-huh. All right. Isn't this stuff neat? Come on. Like, what a world we live in, that I can go and take a little bit of JavaScript, grab Adarsh's page, and just like make a frequency analyzer on it. How neat is that? Like, that is just crazy cool. All right. So, well, since we have the time, and it's a little bit, I would say, not as tricky as this one, but here's what I'm gonna do for you, Adarsh. I'm gonna go and save this off so that you can have this, and I'll put it up on my, I'll post this as the video for this one, the code for this video. God, this is neat. And then you can have some fun with it. It's luminous, a familiar relative of lit. Very cool. By the way, you guys should stick around. What we're going to do is when this is when we get done with the image one, we'll just cut this off, and then we'll do a meetup, and we can just have a chat. You know, all of us can jump in, and you can ask me anything about all this, and you can talk to me, you know, face to face without going through all this commenting stuff. Okay, so let's do the image one because it's actually fun and small, and then we'll jump into the meetup and do an ask me anything. Okay, so let's cap that off by, let's see here. I want to call this audio, and then open the local directory, and we're gonna go and copy a bunch of this stuff into the audio directory so that it's all saved off and whatnot. And while I'm here, I'll create a git ignore for node modules and dist. Cool. And then we'll go and copy recursively audio into image. And well, I don't know. Let's see how fast, how much I can do with image, just on my own, like without. Okay, when we gotta stop the port. So let's go over here into image, and go live with the new image directory. Cool, looks good. And we've still got our. We don't need any of that. Okay. And we don't need any of this. Although, let's see, we're probably gonna want these at least. Not that that's doing all that much. Nice. Hey, thanks, Sanjay. You rock. Thanks for sticking around. That's great. Oops. Hey now. Okay. So we'll save that. This is just going to help us later because I don't want to redo all that. Why? Actually, it's fine. Okay. So we need an image. So let's go and find ourselves an image. Should we get a dart? Or should we just, hey, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to copy your image. I'm going to save your image, Adarsh. And we'll save it to desktop. Let's see. So Adarsh headshot. Okay. See, this is why you, by the way, this is why you get here early, because then I could be working on your GitHub page, you know? Adarsh jumped in. He's like, it's my page. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I'm all, and no, he didn't do that. I asked. It's okay. That's not, where did I put it somewhere? Yeah, there we go. Does it have an extension? It really should have an extension. What's change it to maybe, yeah. Oh, well, one that's got to be in the image directory. So let's do that. And I should change the name Adarsh. Get it right. Image, a headshot, and I'm gonna guess JPG. So let's take a look. Yeah, perfect. Oh wow, look. Actually, they're doing the circle thing in CSS. Cool. So now we want to go and smush that down. Sorry, Adarsh. My bad. So we're gonna bring that up in preview, and then we're gonna go and adjust its size down to 53 columns wide. And that, my friend, is going to pixelate the heck out of you. So let's jump in there. It still looks good, though. Got that on. Got the, you know, rocking the shades look. That's real good. Nice. All right. So now we've got our image. So the first thing we want to do is, okay, so it looks good down there. So we want to create an image. So we do document.create. New image, right? So this is what you do when like you cache an image. You can do this kind of thing. Source, and we'll give it /image, which is because if you look at like here right now, you can see it's /image, and we're gonna do inside of that Adarsh headshot .jpg. Cool. And then image onload. And we'll give it a function. if I can do this, I can do probably everything up to like pixel data maybe for memory on this. Okay, so then we have our image. So if I want to go look at that, I just want to see with a console log, like, have we gotten it right? So we'll get the height. And let's see. Oh, that is so neat. You know what? It's not. It's still running the audio code because I haven't done the Webpack. So let's go and do the Webpack thing. And I have to do it in image. So let's go make that the right directory. And then npx again. Okay, cool. Now, yes, it works. So it's telling us 53 high is a square, so it's 53 by 53. So we're getting the image, which is good. So now we need to go and create a canvas tag because we want the context, the 2D context from that canvas tag. So let's call that, I don't know, CVS. I do not work for CVS, by the way. It is not a plug. Canvas. And then within that, we need the context. So we want the canvas, create context. I think that's it. Or get context. Get context. Yay, there it is. How much can Jack do from memory? I don't know. Draw image? Yes. Okay, I'm not doing it from memory. I am doing it from VS Code hinting. But pretty damn close. So we're going to draw it at 0, 0. And then for each one of these lines, each one of these pixels, we want to go and get the image data from that. So let's get image data. And then, oh, look at that. SX, SY. Okay, cool. So we have the CX and CY. And we want 1 pixel. And we'll get the pixel data. And then we'll log that. Log pixel data. Okay. Nice. Excellent. Okay, so now we're getting all these image datas. So let's do data. And that's going to give us an array. Cool. And then I'll format that array, RGBA. Not that there's any alpha in here, but, you know, why not? We got 4 pixels. We got 4 values. So we'll join that with a comma. And let's see, what does that look like? Okay, looking pretty good. So we're good over there. Now let's go and set our fill style to that. Rect style.fill equals RGBA. And there we go. Got the top of Adarsh's head. So let's now go and make Adarsh scroll up continuously. This is my page. This is super cool. So we'll let this be the offset, I guess. Yeah, starting point offset. And then we'll create an interval. And we'll let it run 100 milliseconds. Sure. And then we'll use that offset to just continuously offset that Y. So we'll just start at a different point every time. And then once we've got it, once we've drawn into our image, we'll add 1 to the offset. And then if it's offset plus 7 is greater than the height of the image, then we need to just kind of roll back to the beginning again. So we've hit the bottom, we want to roll back to the top again. So let's take a look. There you go. Nice. Very cool. Yeah. I'm kind of, yeah. I don't know. The black and white thing, it's a nice look at Adarsh. It really is. But, you know, I don't know how well it comes out in this. It worked. I think it works really well. I did the Bulbasaur Pokemon, and I think that worked really well. All right. So, yeah, here we go. So if there's no further questions, I'm going to go and stop the live stream. And then I'm going to put into the chat right now the Google Meetup code, the URL. And I hope to see you folks over in the Meetup. And you can ask me any questions that you want. How's that sound? So let's let me go and switch over to the other tab. And let's take a look. Sounds like fire. Okay. I'll see you guys over there.